Assalamualaikum viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel BS English Lectures. Hope so you all are fine and doing well at your homes. Today the topic which I am going to discuss with you is basically writers of Middle English period or Anglo-Normans period. So here we have three writers. One is known as William Langland, second John Gower, and the third one is Chaucer. Before starting my lecture, I want to say that do subscribe my channel if you like my videos. Do like, comment in the comment section below, as well as share my videos with your fellows if you like it. Here we have our very first writer, which is known as William Langland. William Langland was born in 1332 and died in 1386. He is the one of the greatest poet of the Middle Age, and his poem, most famous work, A Vision of Paris the Ploughman, holds an important place in English literature. In spite of its artistic style, it is a classical work in English literature. This poem, which is a satire on the corrupt religious practices, throws lights on the ethical problems of the day. The characters which are assumed by Langland is that of the prophet, which are those are denouncing, condemning the sins of the society and encouraging man to aspire to a higher level of life, to live a higher rank of life. He represents the dissatisfaction of the lower and the more thinking classes of English society. Although Langland is essentially a satirical poet, he has decided to view on political as well as social questions. He also raised social questions, political and social questions in their poet. Either he is a satirical poet, he was a satirical poet or anything, but he also view on political and social questions. And the most ideal system according to Langland is feudal system, and this system is the ideal to Langland. He desired no change in the institution of his day, and he thinks that all will be well if the different orders of the society will do their duties, will perform their duties sincerely. This is the view of William Langland on their society and feudal system. Here we have another poet, another writer, which is known as John Gower, and he was born in 1330 and died in 1408. John Gower occupies an important place in the development of English poetry. He is a stylistic, and he proven that English might compete with the other languages which had most distinguished themselves in poetry. Gower is mainly a narrative poet, and his most important work is Confession Eminence, which is in the form of conversation between the poet and the divine interpretation. Most important work of Gower is Confession Eminence, and it is basically a conversation between the poet and the divine interpreter. It is an encyclopedia of the art of love and satires the vanities of the current time. Gower basically presents himself as a moralist. Though Gower was inferior to Chaucer, but it is sufficient that they were certainly fellow pioneers, fellow schoolmasters in the task of bringing England to literature. So these are the achievements of Gower. Now here we have our major poet of Middle English, which is known as the father of English poetry, whose name was Chaucer, the real founder of English poetry. Basically, Chaucer in fact made a fresh beginning in English literature. He disregarded altogether the old English traditions, Now here we have two folds of his education. One, the part of it came from French and Italian literature, and the part of it came from his life, biography of his life. And also, Chaucer works fall into three periods. I am going to describe. Very first period we have French period. In this very first period, particularly the most famous and very long poem of Chaucer is Le Roman de la Rose, of which he made a translation, Remount of the Rose. This poem, which gives an intimate introduction of the medieval French romances, an allegory of courtly love. It is the embryo out of which all Chaucer's poetry grows. Another his work in this same period, is the Book of the Duchess. It is an allegory, which is its form and nature is like Le Roman de la Rose, but it is a shorter poem. Here we have another period of Chaucer life, second period, which starts from 1373 to 1384, which is known as Italian literature period. Especially this period shows the influence of Italian literature, especially of Dante's Divine Comedy and Boccaccio poems. In this period, he wrote the Parliament of Fowls, which contains very dramatic and satire dialogue between the assembled birds. Another work of Chaucer in same period is Troilus and Cressida, which narrates the love story of the Trojan prince Troilus and his love for a damsel Cressida. Another work is the story of Griseld, in which he gave a pitiful picture of womanhood. Another most important and masterpiece of comic fantasy work is The House of Fame. The House of Fame, which is a masterpiece of comic fantasy, and it is a contemplation of human folly. It is about the contemplation of the human foolishness. And the very last and the third period of literary Chaucer literary work is English period. In this period, it is start from 1384 to 1390. May be called as English period because in it he threw off foreign influence and showed native originality. In the Legend of Good Woman, it is the work of this period. Legend of Good Woman. He employed for the first time the heroic couplet. It was during this period he wrote his most famous poetry, which is known as the Canterbury Tales. Now I am going to tell you about some major characteristics of contemporary Canterbury Tale. The most famous and characteristic work of Chaucer is the Contemporary Tale, which is a collection of stories related by the pilgrims on their ways to the shrine of Thomas Becket at Contemporary. These pilgrims represent different sections of contemporary English society, and in the description of the most prominent of these people is the prologue of Canterbury Tale. Most prominent of these people is the prologue of Canterbury Tale, and the power are shown at their very highest. In the prologue, the power of Chaucer writing shows at their very highest. All these characteristics are individualized, yet their though roughly typical quality gives unique value to Chaucer's picture of man and manner in the English of his time. In Canterbury Tale, Chaucer depicts the picture of man and manners in the England of his time. So that is all about today. If you like my video, do subscribe my channel as well as share my videos to your fellows, and do like, comment and share as well. If you like to watch more videos, thanks for listening. That is all. Allah Hafiz.